The darkness surrounds us. It's time to light up the night. It's time for Zero Dark 30 with John.
Yay! Cut out the jibber jabber. Don't be babbling like a fool. Say what you got to say. That's all. Then shut your dang pie hole.
Well, it's that time, folks. It's Zero Dark Friday. And hey, it's that time. We actually had, well, we're going to use the phrase to describe it, a debate between President Trump and President Biden. And it still pains me to say it because he is not presidential, folks. So let's just kind of get on to a couple of highlights because I could not watch the whole thing. I couldn't do it. It was driving me nuts. Absolutely driving me nuts. A lot of the things we talked about were great in preparation for this, knowing that Biden was going to make a lot of mistakes. All Trump had to do was sit back and watch. You know, give the man some room. He's working. You know, at one point there, Biden started with his incoherent, mumbling, bumbling, jumbling crap. And Trump just looked around and said, I don't know what he just said. You know, one of those Trump moments. But yeah, if he's not making any sense, call him out on it. Call him out on that. In fact, it's my understanding, and I didn't investigate. Trump had a fact-checking team, instant fact-checker team lined up to, I guess you could say, co-broadcast at the same time. So all of Joe's bull's crap could be called out. It could absolutely be called out. And I guess they did a good job. Biden was just awful, though. Absolutely awful performance. In fact, it was so awful that I believe Van Jones said they gotta get a different candidate. Right? They've got to get a different candidate. And Van Jones, of course, is a avowed communist who works for the mainstream media, but did work for Barack Obama. He is a radical-minded, very powerful, very intelligent man. Why he chose to be a communist, I guess we're not. Even when you're highly intelligent, you can make a couple of bad choices, and you wake up as a latent murderer, because that's what I believe all communists are: latent murderers, not latent warriors, latent murderers. But let's continue, shall we? Joe Biden, Trump. You know, Trump did okay, but there were times on what I saw that typical political pandering occurs, and that's just annoying. But that's part of the regular process. See, I think that there was a lot going on in the debate, and I think there always is if you're just a noob, right? You're a noob in politics. Then you get explanations and a show that satisfy where you stand. And then if you're an acolyte, now I hate to even use that word, dang it. If you're a student, a young student of politics, you'll hear things on a different level. And again, if you're a novice and an expert, then you hear and see different things. So everyone gets a good show, folks. Everybody. Trying to buy voters and win certain, shall we say, demographic groups: the Black Americans, the Hispanic Americans, the female liberal suburban housewife demographic, which votes whatever the mainstream media, Oprah and The View tell them to do. There's no winning some groups. So I think you play to your strong suits and to what's working, and Trump's team has been doing that. the Trump team has been winning in the campaigns, the rallies. Trump has that advantage going into these, if we're going to even do more debates. But we'll just say, yeah, we'll use the word debate again because it's funny that way. But yeah, it was quite a show. Biden was jacked up, absolutely on the sauce. Whatever they gave him, I'd like some of it. He was up. He was charged, and I'll tell you what, he did not sound like Joe Biden. His voice was nasally. It was off. He had the tonal inflection of Biden, right? Speech patterns of Biden, but it did not sound like Biden. And they claimed he had a cold. Yeah, the president's got a cold and not feeling great. Well, of course they're going to tell us, make excuses right off the bat for him. But the fact, folks, that they claim he had a cold. Well, how the hell did that happen at Camp David, right? Surrounded by medical professionals, trainers, therapists, everybody trying to tune that old fart up. They probably had him on some sort of, I don't even know what. But it didn't last long. It lasted longer than I thought, but it didn't last long. Right? Biden's energy was up, and then it came down slowly. And that's what we saw. He became less coherent. He made less sense. He started mumbling. His eyes went from wide open, meaning lots of energy, more back to his squinty normal self where he's falling apart. He did so awful, folks. It was an embarrassment and considered an absolute failure. Unfortunately, it wasn't a spectacular failure with him falling off of stage or wandering into the walls or everyone running out onto the stage and then ignoring him so he could just kind of wander in circles. It's really quite pathetic, is what it is. But even on all that juice, it was surmised that the Biden team cheated. The Biden team cheated. Because at one point during the debate, Biden started fumbling with his ear. It's like, I know you can't see me. There we go. Yeah, now you kind of saw me for a second there. Yeah, fumbling, screwing around with his ear, poking inside his ear. He's probably forgot he had an earpiece and thought that's, he's probably been practicing if it was the real Joe Biden, even if it was a fake Joe Biden getting the answers. Who knows, folks? But yeah, earpiece, hello, cheating, being given answers. Okay, Joe, just say Kawicha Hanaga, and then that'll miff Trump while we give you the rest of the answers. Who knows? I mean, for real, who knows? But an important piece in all of this, folks, is it was an absolute failure. By the end of the debate, and once again, I'm surprised, the drugs they have are amazing to prop that dusty old skeleton up. Amazing. But by the end, though, he was crouching or crotchety, which is where that term comes from when they bow the legs. Crotchety. The crotchety old fart looked like he crapped his pants, needed to be guided off the stage. You're supposed to respect your elders, right? You're supposed to make sure that they have a comfortable chair. They've lived their life. You're not supposed to abuse them. And I actually see this as a form of abuse, right? Elder abuse. We've all heard of that. I'll end the show on this one. Elder abuse. You're not taking care of them, not giving them enough rest, not giving them enough sleep, not giving them enough nutrients. I guess they could say, well, we're giving them lots of sleep, lots of rest, lots of nutrients, and lots of good, comfortable presidential chairs. But making someone take a bunch of drugs to soup them up and then train them like some kind of a SEAL. I guess it's and you can actually call it forced labor. If you did that to your great grandmother who's 85 and in a rest home, they would arrest everybody for giving them a bunch of drugs and winding up all the old people at the rest home, right? But no, when it's the president, juice that son of a bitch, put a thing in his ear, tell him what to say, and push your politics. I think it's elder abuse. Maybe someone else will pick that story up too. Hey, folks, Zero Dark Friday. Early. I'll see you for the free-for-all Friday tonight, and then on to the zoo on Sunday, because there's going to be some big stuff going down. Until then, God bless America. Semper Fi.